Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Hailsham Chamber Let's Talk Business podcast. I'm here with Ali Thompson from the Dental Barn in Upper Dicker, and really excited to learn some about what it is that drove Alison to starting up the practice, how things are going, what she's proud of, some milestones along the way. So here we are, it's 2025. On a very hot day, sat in your very fancy air-conditioned suite. Tell me a bit about Dental Barn.
Okay, so I qualified in 1982 as a hygienist, worked locally for many years, and a practice that I worked in sold, and the people it was sold to really didn't like. And the whole Dental Barn is actually my husband's fault.
Okay.
Because I said, I've built up this lovely following of patients, and if I move to another practice, I'm just going to take them all with me and actually get nothing for it.
Benefit the practice and not you.
Yeah,
of course.
And so he said, well, you're always banging on about what an amazing practice you could have. Why don't you do it? So I laughed, and that was it. But it was like a little worm. It was like a little worm. And I just thought, maybe I could do this. And so that's how it started. I think I was just about to be 50, and I think it was a bit of a midlife crisis, to be honest. And I just spoke to my kids, who were 11 and 13 at the time, so they weren't little, but
starting
still
to look
needed,
after themselves.
Yeah, still needed, care from parents and stuff. And we just said, if we do this, we're going to have to risk everything. So we literally sold cars and everything, and I cashed in endowments. And we
any way you could get cash.
Yeah, the only thing we didn't sell really was the kids, and that was it. And one of the biggest problems was that only 2 hygienists in the UK, whole of the UK, had done it before. So it was incredibly new, and funding was
I was going to say, does that mean no one wants to lend you money?
No one wants to lend you money. And so it got to the point where it looked like it wasn't going to happen. And then, like lots of people, the bank of mum and dad came along and gave us the little bit difference that we needed, which meant we could do it. And so we started off open 2 days a week.
It is a huge risk, isn't it?
With 3 people.
Yeah.
And that then grew. I worked 5 days a week at other practices. So I actually worked 7 days a week just to keep the business going. And I kind of always had in the back of my mind that, what if it went wrong? And Marcus, my lovely husband, he's like, we'd be all right in a tent, don't worry, And I was thinking, no, we wouldn't be all right in a tent. And we got to the beginning of year 3.
And the tent was looking closer, was it? Or
and I had £48,000 on credit cards. I had £76 of my business overdraft left, and I had £56 of my personal overdraft left.
Oh my God.
And that was seriously, looking back now, probably wasn't very well. But one of the things I definitely say to people is I tried to keep it to myself, and that was the worst thing, because looking back now, I probably was ill.
Could have dealt with it a lot better if you had actually let people know the
if
situation you're in.
And it came to a head when I fell through the back door and just cried because I hadn't even told Marcus actually how bad
the full
it
extent
was.
of,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And so there had to be a big turning point. And it was, I could do the dentistry and I could talk to dentists and patients and staff and everything, but I didn't know how to run a business. And that was what I realised I needed help running a business.
Someone to coach you.
Yeah.
To coach the business.
Yeah. Because you're taught your skill, but you're not taught how to run a business.
And you're a friendly, easygoing kind of lady, probably too forgiving, probably too generous. You want to help everybody, which of course isn't business, and that's how you can find yourself in that kind of situation, isn't it?
And it was scary, really, really scary. And I always laugh because, before I've said, I'm a bit skint at the moment, which meant you probably couldn't buy a couple of bottles of red wine and bits and pieces.
But you were on your
I
knees.
have never been that skint before. And even recently, my kids are like 25 and 20, nearly 28. We were all on holiday together, and Noah said, "Oh my God, Mum, we ate so much pasta, didn't we? Because pasta was cheap."
Food. Yeah.
And sometimes I said, they said sometimes you had your meals later, didn't you? And Marcus and I looked at each other, and the kids saw us look at each other.
Didn't eat.
And they were like, "Why are you looking at each other?" And I was like, "Because actually me and Dad had Marmite on toast." And, we've never said that before because we wanted to protect them. But when you start a business, I think it's two ways. One is, thank God you don't know what you're letting yourself in for.
No one would ever start a
because
business.
you wouldn't do it. And secondly, the reality of owning a business eventually dawns on you. And for me, it took 2 years, and for some people, it might take 10 years or 6 months. And I just, for any business, anybody that owns a business, from a aloe vera, part-time job to, a multi-million-pound business, oh my God, you just take your hat off to them because
everything's relative. It's just different sums of money.
Absolutely.
That's what I've come to discover, that everyone's in the same boat. It's just some people are playing with bigger sums than others. But the stress is no different, is it? Everything's relative to each company and person.
Yeah. And so I got a business coach, lovely Rachel Stone.
She was my business coach as well.
Who helped me, who's now one of my best friends, funnily
Taught
enough.
you to lead.
Taught me to be a leader. And that is the difference. And also I joined an entrepreneurs group, a national entrepreneurs group. David Ruddle from Best of Eastbourne absolutely was my saviour because he invited me to an evening from Entrepreneurs Circle. And I sat there and I thought I was meant to come to this meeting because everything they talked about, knowing your numbers, I didn't know how much anything meant. And now I look back and I think, oh my God.
No wonder I was in the mess I was in.
How did we survive for 2 years? I think, how did it actually survive for 2 years? I actually don't know. And so just learn to be a business person, learn to make better decisions. And I used to think about my staff and I used to think, why don't they do that? Why don't they do what I want? Well, surprise, surprise, I never asked them to do it. I never told them what was expected from them. So how are you meant to know what to do if no one's actually told you in the first place?
If no one's directing,
absolutely,
steering the ship.
And so that was a big step change. I worked even harder, but in the right direction. And so we got busier and we've now grown to...
The stress starts coming away because so much of it is a financial burden, isn't it?
Absolutely.
And as those amounts are coming down, and the risk of the tent is starting to creep further away.
Absolutely. And I think one of the biggest things at that time when it was bad was the guilt I felt that I had done this to my
You'd
family.
be responsible. You'd
Absolutely.
feel entirely responsible.
And also, I still, even now, we've got lots of lovely staff, I still think the burden of employing people is quite hard because if
And it's not for everybody. A lot of businesses won't employ people.
Yeah, and now I look back at my nice tiny little practice and think, oh, how easy was
This
that?
is nice.
But, and it's grown and as things grow, your problems grow, but it's just easier now, like you say, that financial pressure. Don't get me wrong, still sometimes like the new building we're in now, because we've added another little building, a new surgery and things.
That we're sat in.
That we're sat in now. That cost a lot of money but the difference was because I was a better business person.
And in a stronger position
and
to
I'd
start
managed
with.
my money over the years. I actually paid for this in cash.
Yes.
And that's the difference. Knowing your numbers gives you freedom to do other things. Like before, I was like, can we afford another dental nurse? Or let's just wing it. Now I know, actually, can we afford someone? Yeah, we can afford to take someone on. And so that knowing your numbers has been a bit of a revolution.
And I think you adjust to a stress level, don't you? And when you're going into an unknown, we recently acquired Archer and Partners, as you know, in Colgate. That's an unknown, so that's very stressful.
Yeah.
Now we have Archer and Partners, and that's normal. And that additional layer of stress is normal. Yeah. You can deal with it.
Absolutely.
And like I say, knowing your numbers, you know what that needs to bring in every month, you know what KPI's got to be hit.
Yeah.
I'm sure you know all about that if you spent time with Rachel. And your whole coping ability, I think, just improves, doesn't it?
Definitely.
As you get more used to doing it.
Definitely, yeah. I think it's with your wisdom comes sanity. That's the best way. The better you get at it, and the more I'm someone I now constantly learn. I'm constantly learning. Like recently, we've introduced AI X-ray system, so artificial intelligence is creeping into the business now.
I think every industry is really using it.
You know, I'm a bit freaked out because I'm of a generation where we didn't even have a computer at school.
Because it's new, isn't it? That's what a lot of things are.
You know, let's embrace it.
Absolutely.
Let's go with it.
It's not going anywhere, Ali.
No.
Use it or your competitor will.
Absolutely.
That's the bottom line, isn't it?
And you know, it will come in more, I think, into dentistry. You know, it's just sort of teetering on the edge at the minute, but there's a lot of stuff like new stuff like when a dentist or hygienist is talking to a patient with the patient's permission,
it'll take
AI
all that data.
will take it and, you know, and write your notes for you, and then you can adjust it. So not just in like the technology of X-rays and equipment and stuff, but just making our lives a bit easier.
We're
really.
all going to become so much more productive. And I think the healthcare industry as a whole is going to see a huge change. Labour have already been saying, haven't they, that they're very keen to start introducing more AI.
Yeah.
Because the only way of getting that NHS bill down is improving productivity. And I think every business is going to be keen, because the skill sets that we all have are not going to go anywhere. You're still going to need the dentist.
Yeah.
You're still going to need that face-to-face.
Yeah.
But the mundane tasks of typing what the dentist is saying about that patient, if that's saving 5 minutes per patient, you could see 5 more patients a day.
Yeah.
Which benefits you as a business owner.
Absolutely.
And with margins as tight as they are across most industries, anything you can do as a business owner to improve that margin, it's worth embracing, isn't it?
Absolutely. And what's, I think, really interesting about AI is there are jobs going to be created within all industries that haven't even been invented yet.
You've got it.
So in dentistry, who knows what jobs are going to come along, which I kind of think is a bit exciting, really.
Again, because you're that personality that embraces it. And that's probably why one of your big playing factors in how you've progressed as a business owner is your ability to embrace change and new things coming in.
Yeah. And just, you got to be, I realise now, I was completely risk averse, completely. It's not me as a character although I've ridden motorbikes for many years, so that isn't being risk averse, but you've got to take risks. If you want to grow your business, but calculated risks.
Open it up, speak to others,
but you do have to be someone who's happy to step out of that comfort zone to push it that little bit. The more times you do that, the better you get at it.
And I mean, look at the dental barn now. We just saw your meet the team wall. Was there 20 people on there?
Yeah, there is.
And you said there's 2 more to go on there now. And I mean, already based on the conversation we've just been having, for that many staff to be on that wall, you must walk out every day grinning from ear to ear, because that is a true testament to what you wanted to provide, and you're obviously providing it very well.
Yeah, and the thing is, talking about leadership is a big thing about staff as well, because I've got the confidence now to wait for the person I want. In the old days, I would be like, oh yeah, that person's all right. Yeah, they'll do. But every one of the staff here believes in what I believe in. So we believe in, and why I set the practice up was to make somewhere where people felt safe and would want to return to.
Fear-free dentistry.
Which in dentistry sounds a bit weird, but actually, testament to everybody who's been part of the dental barn, patients as well, that we have achieved that. And I think getting the right team is really important. And I've made some big mistakes.
It's not something that happens overnight, is it?
No.
I think, again, most business owners will share with you that they've chosen the wrong member of staff on more than once occasion.
Oh, I've done it countless times.
But even like the dental barn's my first experience of a private practice. I was always NHS before that. And it is from the moment you arrive. Karen's always at the desk. It doesn't matter what's going on in Karen's world. She's attentive.
Absolutely.
Hello, how can I help? She's on it.
Yeah.
She's organised.
Yeah.
You can ring her at any point and have a laugh with her on the phone. And I think that's setting the tone from the minute you enter the dental barn.
All those girls on reception, their first point of contact. And if someone says, oh yeah, have a seat, who wants to come
That
there?
sets the tone from there on, doesn't it? Yeah.
But if the girls, we know our patients really well, but even if it's a new patient, the girls on any of the desks, they know roughly who's coming in. And even if you're a new patient, they'll say, oh, it's Mary, isn't it? And people think, oh my God, they already know who I am.
Yeah.
And that's why that reception team can make or break any business.
It's so basic, but the basics go further than anything else, don't they? As soon as someone in our office, as soon as someone opens that front door, whoever's available, up. Off your chair. Hello.
Absolutely.
It seems really basic, doesn't it? But that, or if you're all on the phone, acknowledge.
Yeah.
And the most simplest things go such a long way with service, I think.
And, you know, I looked for a new car last year and I must have gone to 5 car dealers and 3 of them we walked out of because after 5 minutes, no one even came to see us. They didn't even ask us, are you interested? Can I help?
Anything.
So we just walked out. Because if it's like that in the beginning, then what's it going to be like when you've like any product, if someone's on it in the beginning, you know they're going to be on it when you want
that whole
a service
way through that
or
transaction.
a fill-in or whatever it is.
So your caption is fear-free dentistry.
Yeah.
I've known you for about 8 years now, Ali. I've heard you say it many a time. Nervous patients, I think it must be so common for people to be terrified of the dentist. They're playing with the insides of your mouth. It's understandable for people to be nervous about it.
Absolutely.
What do you do and how do you go about priding yourself on that?
So when we opened, that was the group of patients that I wanted to help, because being in dentistry for many, many years, I felt that group of people were never what I would consider properly looked after. So that's why we wanted to make a safe space where people could come. And so we had to think about, why don't people come? A lot of people, it's fear from a past experience. And if you're a 60s baby like me, you definitely had horrible dentistry. Definitely.
Things have come a long way.
They have come a long way. So it was trying to make somewhere that didn't feel like a dentist. And we worked very hard not to be like a dentist. So you probably, when you noticed when you came in, we don't smell like a dentist. We haven't got that disinfectant smell. And
white.
Yeah, white. Like, you know, we have lovely pictures up and the soft furnishings,
colourful chairs,
in the waiting room and everything.
The radio's playing.
So the first thing is not that, this is scary and this is a dentist. And then to make people part of our family. So we really get to know people. So the girls will say, oh, what happened at your granddaughter's, graduation or something? And so someone summed it up beautifully, which makes me the proudest of lots of things that have happened, is I love coming here, Ali, because it feels like I'm part of a family. And that's how we make people feel. It's the biggest step change for me. I realised as well, in that first 2 years, I did what I thought I should be doing.
Yeah.
So this professional dental thing. But that's not me. That's not who I am. And I thought, well, how can people relate to me if I'm not actually being me?
So you've begun to be authentic.
So I just, people buy from people.
Absolutely.
So if you're who you are, and I mean, you've been in where we have such a laugh.
Absolutely.
And people say, oh my God, it's so normal here, and that's a compliment. It's normal, it's not, it's professional in what we do and the services we provide, but also it's about being a real person and laughing when I fall down the stairs and things like that. And, just being normal and just being true. I think being authentic and being who you are, I think is lovely.
Because then you attract the right type of clients for you, don't you?
Yeah, and we do something, because one of the barriers for people coming in, if you're super nervous, is that first appointment. that first sit in the chair. How am I going to get in that chair? And so we do something called coffee and a chat. Whereas if you're super nervous, to negate you having to sit in the chair, you can come and have a coffee and a chat with me. And
you're all right at that.
I am brilliant at that. Drinking coffee and chatting is my favourite pastime. Surprise. But we don't even sit in the surgery sometimes. We say to people, are you happy to go in a surgery? If they're not, then, you know, I've got a little office or we've got a lovely staff room just to get them. And often, once people, they've managed to talk to you about their fear, and I've explained what we can do about that.
And they feel you care.
Yeah, and they feel safe. And it's about feeling safe. And then, you know, we have a little funny one where, you know, once someone's over our front doorstep, they're not going anywhere else. And in that coffee and a chat, once people get a feel and understand that we understand, and I was treating someone once, and we always say, you know, if you want us to stop, put your hand up and everything. And they put their hand up, and I said, right, what's going on? Is everything okay? And they said, you know, that you're the first person ever to stop when I actually put my hand up. And so that gives people confidence that they can.
They're in control.
Absolutely. Because you're flat on your back most of the time.
You're vulnerable.
You're in, you know, everybody has like grades of, you know, personal space. Well, we're that far from it, you know, which that far is only your closest loved ones. I mean, if a stranger came up to you and stood that far away, you'd be absolutely freaking out. But here we are, we're this, you know, very invasive into your personal space. So you've got to trust us, and you've got to feel that we care about you.
And I would agree. When people have asked me about Dental Barn, they know I use you. And I've been with Tori the whole time I've been coming to the Dental Barn. I always say to people, I feel like she actually cares.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel with others, they do it for a job. You know?
Yeah.
But you come out with this sense of, I've had a laugh, I've had a joke. the procedure's been done, whatever needing. I've had a lot done over the last few years. But she takes an interest.
Yeah.
And I think you remember that level of detail, don't you?
I think
that's what keeps you coming back.
Absolutely. And it's all about how we make you feel. It's actually not about our dentistry, because you could pretty much go anywhere and have dentistry
Dentistry is
done.
dentistry, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah. But it's how we make you feel about that visit that makes the difference.
Coming back.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Ali, I've been coming to the chamber for 8 years. You was there when I started. How long have you been part of Hailsham Chamber?
So when things were bad, I realised that I needed to be with other business people to get advice from them. And so it's probably about 13 years now. And the one thing, I've been to lots of different chambers over the years, and the one thing with Hailsham Chamber that I love, and that's why I still come all these years later, apart from having a nice breakfast.
One of our veteran members.
Is the people. And, you know, people come and go, and some oldies like me is still there. But what I love about the current chamber is the different dynamic of all the different businesses. In the beginning, I was on the other side of the fence because I got a lot of help from a lot of chamber people who'd had businesses for a long time. And now I'm kind of on
Do
the
you
other
feel
side.
you're
of the
helping
fence,
them?
That, you know, I'm always happy to talk to people. And, you know, funny enough, someone came and said, I don't know whether to employ someone, Ali. What do you think? And so we were able to have a chat about, should you make
And
that
must be
next
lovely for
step?
you, because you think, I was you.
Yeah, exactly.
And now you feel I'm worthy of my advice.
Yeah, and that's what it is, that as you go through your journey, along the way, there are people that help you a lot, and, you know, and then it becomes
You
your
go from the
turn.
helpee to the helper.
Yeah, and you know, the chamber's absolutely buzzing at the minute, and I just love the diversity of everybody.
It seems we've got a real range now, from our youngest members being 20 to our eldest right in their 70s, and everything in between. So many different professions, and the room's just alive, isn't it?
It's fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's
and I think
fun.
that's what people are taking away from it.
Yeah, that actually we are all serious business people, and we all have, you know.
And we have to be serious a lot of the time.
Absolutely. So why shouldn't we be fun sometimes? Yes. And I mean, I came away from the last meeting just smiling.
Yes.
And, you know, what's better than joy? Joy is,
and that's
like
all
the
I've
best
heard by way
thing.
of feedback from our last meeting is, wow, that was brilliant, that was buzzing, loved that.
Yeah.
Walked away, really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And that's what it should be, I think, as a chamber meeting.
Yeah.
You're bringing, at the moment, over 70 businesses together in one room, all forming collaborations, networks, in ways that are all going to help each other in very different ways. And if we can make that enjoyable, why not?
And you know, for me, I use lots of chamber members for all sorts of things, because you want to use the people that are local to you.
And you trust them.
Absolutely.
You know them, you trust them.
And again, people buy from people. Yes. So I buy services from the Hailsham community because I know them, I know they're going to do a good job. And so for me, that's invaluable, that I don't have to go searching on the internet for I don't know, whatever. And that I can just think, oh, actually, I remember at Chamber, there was a guy who did fire doors, like Roy, bless him.
You can't forget Roy.
Who came and, you know, did our fire door. And the thing with local people, which is lovely, is they'll, you know, we haven't got hundreds of fire doors, but someone who's local that know you, you say, oh, you know, can you come and do our fire door? Yeah, no problem, Ali. When do you want to come?
Whereas what would a big business say?
They'd say it's too
Unless
too
it's
small
20,
for
we're
us.
not interested.
Absolutely.
If they answer the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely, I think I've met a lot of great businesses that help us. And, you know, and the other way around, people love what we do, so they buy from us as well.
And this is why you're now sat here, a successful owner of the dental bar.
Yeah!
A big thank you to everybody that's tuned in to the Hailsham Chamber Let's Talk Business podcast. Please like, share, subscribe. Do what you like with it, really. Watch it. There will be another one featuring in another week or so. Details of that are going to follow. Thank you for tuning in, and see you again soon.